Alright, so last class we talked about systems and solving those and what that looked like using substitution or elimination. This class, what we're really going to talk about is just kind of graphing them and looking at what those systems look like. So if I graph this one on Desmos, 2x plus 3y equals 18, and 5x minus y equals 11. You'll notice that there's an intersecting point. Remember I told you last class that they intersect, that is the answer to the problem. So 3, 4 would be the answer to the problem. So it's kind of nice to graph. You can just tell it. If you graph it and they do the exact same line, like problem number 3 on your notes, then it's going to be infinitely many solutions. And then if it's just two parallel lines, they don't intersect, it's going to be no solution. So I don't spend a lot of time on graphing because they don't ask you to do that on the Hawks. But it is kind of nice to know that you can use graphing to solve the system. The big thing about today is that we're going to talk about word problems. So the first one, it says Smithville basketball is playing for the conference title versus Savannah. So 1,435 have been sold to this championship game. So they meant tickets. And then a student admission ticket costs $1.50, while adult admission tickets cost $5 each. The total ticket receipts for the ball game total $3,552.50. How many of each ticket have been purchased? Well, first thing you want to do, if we're going to write a system, we want to label X and Y. So I'm going to say X is going to be student tickets. I'm going to say Y is going to be adult tickets. So then what I like to do is I like to go through and underline the numbers, the key things that you're probably going to use. So I know that I have 1,435 tickets. So if I take the student tickets plus the adult tickets, it's going to equal 1,435. And then you also know the cost. Well, it's $1.50 per student ticket and $5 for adult tickets, and that's going to be $3,552.50. So now it just turns into a system. I'm going to use substitution. So I'm going to rewrite this equation. I'm going to subtract y. Say x equals 1,435 minus y. I'm going to sub it in. So 1.5 times 1,435 minus y plus 5y equals 3,552.5. So take 1.5 times 1,435. You get $2,152.50 minus 1.5y plus 5y equals 3,552.50. So then I'm going to subtract this over and combine like terms. So I'm going to subtract $2,152.50. Combine my y's, I get 3.5y equals 1,400. And then we're going to divide by 3.5. I'm going to get there was 400 adult tickets. So then you can just plug that in and I could take 1,435 minus 400. That means there's 1,035 student tickets. So 1,035 student tickets, 400 adult tickets. That's just kind of get your brain thinking about how word problems are set up. All right. So then the other problem, and this is the one that you're probably going to see more on the Hawks. It says the Swedish chef has made a fortune in the popcorn business. Chef decides to invest some of his money in an account paying 8% annual interest and the rest of the money in a stock fund that ends up earning 10% over the course of a year. Chef puts $400 more in the first account than in the stock fund. At the end of the year, the total interest from the two investments was $1,250. How much money was invested at each of the two rates? So we're going to say X is the first account and Y is the stock fund, which is the second account. All right. Big thing is I want to start with the interest. So when you're writing these two equations in the Hawks, we start with the interest. So 8%, 10%. So I'm going to use 0.8 times X plus 0.08 times X plus 0.1 times Y equals 1,250. So that's my first equation. The second equation, it says he put $400 more in the first account than in the stock fund. So I'm going to say first account equals 400 plus my stock fund. So then it just turns into a substitution problem. So 0.08 times 400 plus y plus 0.1y equals 1250. And again, this is very similar to one you're going to see on the Hawks. So we'll take 0.08 times 400. You get 32 plus 0.08y plus 0.1y equals 1250. I'm going to subtract my 32. I get 0.18y equals 1218. I'm going to divide by 0.18. And I'm going to get y equals $6,766.67. So then the first one, you just take it and you add 400 to it. So I'm going to add 400, and I'm going to get $7,166.67. Now you can always double check your answer, so I can take 7,166.67 times 0.08. That gives me $573.33. Plus, I can take the second account times 0.1. That gives me $676.67. And then if I add those together, I should get the interest amount of $1,250. And you do. You get 1,249.99, which is $1,250. All right? So, to set up these two equations, just to recap, I'm going to take the interest rate of the first account plus the interest rate of the second account equals my total interest amount. And then you write an equation for the first account to figure out it's 400 more than the second account. So that is pretty much it. There's a lot more on the notes, the completed notes that are going to be posted, so make sure you look at those. Otherwise, I don't have anything to add. Your homework's going to be 10.1 Hawks. If you guys have any questions, please let me know.